house and keep us humble in our service to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
We have someone who's going to, excuse me, sing the national anthem. Who is that?
Hold this for the national anthem. Let's get it both cameras.
You can be wherever you like because there's no microphone. Wherever it works for you, dear.
Come on up.
Oh, coerced? No. And I don't know if we have a flag in here. Here, we have a flag. Go ahead.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, bells bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Awesome. Okay, everyone's going to have to be real silent because I am no good at yelling. The mayor was here someplace. Mayor, I'm going to let you come up first. The mayor has something he'd like to read for us.
Good evening. I'd like to read this proclamation on behalf of the Run for Fallen Day, and it is an honor to be here. Whereas, service to others is a hallmark of the American character and central to how we meet our challenges. Service is personified in our armed forces and the men and women who volunteer. And whereas those sacrifices of the fallen represent the ultimate service to our nation, those sacrifices are paid daily by the Gold Star families and loved ones left behind. And whereas American citizens owe a debt of gratitude and remembrance to those fallen and their Gold Star families, honor and remember is dedicated to publicly recognizing each and every sacrifice. Whereas America's Run for the Fallen is the largest organized running tribute to fallen service members and their families. This represents the best spirit of community, sacrifice, and service, traits we should all aspire to espouse in our work, family, and social lives. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Burlington, Iowa, do hereby proclaim June 8, 2018 as Run for the Fallen Day in the City of Burlington, Iowa, and we encourage residents to recognize the positive impact of such an event, the sacrifices of those remembered, and the honor of Gold Star families. Signed and sealed this 14th day of June 2018. Shane A. McCampbell, Mayor.
Wow, what What an amazing, amazing group here tonight. I can't thank you enough. I will tell you that this is probably one of the best welcomes that we've ever had in this particular journey. And I'm hoping everybody can hear me. Can you guys hear me way in the back? Can't even hear that I'm asking you.
Just a little more volume.
Oh, geez. I had some water nearby. How we go? I stand in the middle? All right. There's no microphone anyway. Anybody, welcome to Burlington. I'm from Virginia Beach. I don't know if you know who I am or what we're doing, and maybe you got a little bit of taste, but I'm going to try to just give you a brief synopsis of why we're here, why it's important to us, and hopefully you'll come away with a little bit of understanding and an impression that this moment right here, right now, is an historic time to be in. And it's a really important, once in a lifetime opportunity to just gather and honor with us. And so my name is George Lutz. I'm the founder of an organization called Honor and Remember. This is our 10th anniversary. We began on Memorial Day of 2008. And we established the organization because 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, I couldn't find a way that America remembers their fallen. I was looking for a way that America could show me, because I was a grieving dad then, still am, how they remembered, what was important to them. And what I found was really nothing. I couldn't find anything that showed me that America really remembered. There was a lot of yellow ribbons, there was a lot of support our troops banners, a lot of pray for our troops banners, but nothing really that focuses on those that gave their lives, and especially nothing that focused on the families who gave their loved ones for our freedom. And that became important to me because, not from a selfish reason, but there's two things that are important to a family who's given their loved one in service to our country. One is that they didn't die in vain, that wasn't worthless, that sacrifice. And two, that they not be forgotten. Well, these families aren't forgetting, right? Nobody forgets that they lost a loved one. Well, they wear that every day. You know, they wear it around their necks. Somewhere I've got a dog tag, or they tattooed it, to their arms. You know, there's some way that the families are remembering. Okay, but how do you get the message to the rest of the nation? And that became my mission. Not to speak to the choir, not to reach out to the military or the active duty, or even the families themselves. But our message became, how do we reach the 90+% of Americans who don't understand the sacrifice? And I thought the best way of doing that, really my inspiration came from the POWMIA. That whole organization that created a symbol so that those that were missing or captured would not be forgotten. That's why we have the POWMIA flag. And I thought, and I want to stop for a minute because how many agree with me that what just happened with North Korea, bringing back the remains of those missing in action was an amazing feat, right? Mm-hmm. Are going to get some closure that they never had. And to me, that is an amazing blessing. And so I thought the best way of reaching the public was to create a symbol. Some way by which, when we saw it as Gold Star families, we would know that whoever was displaying it actually cared. They had a way of sending a message, a tangible message to all of us. And selfishly, right? So that somebody appreciated what our loved ones gave. And so that was the reason for the establishment of our mission, to establish a national symbol of remembrance. Well, 2 weeks after Memorial Day of 2008, a gentleman named John Bologna. I'm going to try to do this without tears because very difficult. John lost his college roommate, First Lieutenant Michael Cleary, in 2005, and John himself was a runner. And he decided that the best way to pay homage to his college roommate was to run across America. Okay, so he decided, I'm going to grab a handful of guys and gals, and I'm going to get in a little minivan, and I'm going to run across America, and I'm going to call out loud the names of those that died in battle during that, up to that time. So it was 3,800 casualties up to 2008, Flag Day of 2008. This day is really, really important, and I'm going to explain that a little bit more. And so John and I became friends within weeks of his run, because why? We had a symbol that recognized every fallen service member in America, in the history of our country. I wanted John to know about it, because if he was running across America, I thought he should run with this flag as well. So we became friends. Fast forward, he went on in a different path of his life. We have been doing runs in different states for the last 6 years. And 2 years ago, I went to John and I said, you know what, it's coming up to the 10th anniversary of our organization and the start of your run across America. I said, we need to do it again. And he said, you got my blessing, go for it. Well, today is the day that he started that run in Fort Irwin, California, 10 years ago today. And this morning, he sent me an email. Sorry. This really isn't what I do, it's who I am. And hopefully you understand that. But I'm going to try to read it, because he gave me permission to read it. He said, 10 years ago, we set out from Painted Rocks at Fort Irwin, California, on a journey across the country. While others had honored fallen service members with running, our cross-country run attempted to connect communities together by weaving a thread across the nation, interlinked mile by mile, service member by service member, memory by memory, starting at the fort where many trained for Operation Rapid Freedom, Fort Irwin, and ending at the nation's most secret place of burial, Burlington. Our route created a space for collectively honoring our communities, our friends, and our families. The run grew out of a love for First Lieutenant Michael Cleary, a collegiate brother and dear friend who left behind a loving laugh, an unforgettable smile, a loyal family, and a rich future to serve those who served him. Honor and remember and run for the fallen, honored Mike on Mother's Day of this year, while the team ran through New Mexico. George and his team honored Mike on the same day they honored Tony, which happened to be my son. I smile knowing these two, among with other familiar faces and names, shared the same stretch of road, and with George carrying the flag. During the 2008 run, while we consisted of military brats and Gold Star family members, our small team was comprised entirely of civilians. Well, I don't think much about this point at the time. I think it's important to note, as Run for the Fallen yet again collectively and openly honors our fallen, and once again runs to connect communities and our hearts together. The run is not just for the military, by the military. The run is about families. The run is about friends. The run is about teachers, neighbors, and all those affected by a service member who leaves overseas and stands up for us all. We don't forget that. We will never forget that. The Honor and Remember flag does not forget that sacrifice. From the service member whom we call out by name to the families who carry the memories of that service member with them each and every day, we may have begun running 10 years ago today, but we won't stop running now. John will be running with us in Indiana, just so you know. So, the beginnings of America's run for the fallen. We realize as an organization that one thing that we will never do is let your loved ones or anyone's loved ones be forgotten. So the best way of doing that was to recreate this run, but to step it up a notch. Because as John identified battle casualties, the flag that we created and established recognizes every single fallen service member who died while serving or as a result of service. So it does not matter what the casualty type was, and even for those hidden wounds of post-traumatic stress, if something happened after that loved one left the service, then they're being honored as well. This, as I've said, as was mentioned by the mayor, is really meant to be the most comprehensive fallen veteran tribute ever conceived, because it knows no bounds. It literally knows no bounds. We are identified every name that we could, working with the DOD and a number of other organizations, and compiled a list, starting with the USS Cole, October 12, 2000, to today and tomorrow and the next day, until we get to Arlington Cemetery on August the 5th, where we will literally read out loud the last name of the very person that died up to that moment. No one has ever attempted to do anything like this, and not only that, but we've taken them and we've laid them out on a tribute trail across America, one marker at a time, all the way to Arlington. 121 days, through 19 states, and approximately 6,100 miles. That is an amazing, amazing organizational feat. If you can imagine what it takes to do that. This is just one day. This is one moment of one day. We have, every day we have to decide where are we staying, what are we eating, who's helping us. I mean, it's just been incredible. So to see so many faces here at the USA stepping up for us, thank you so much in helping sponsor. What you see is an amazing, amazing gathering of those that get it. And I know there's a lot of families here that have lost so much. So this is what brings us here, to be able to take this message to everyone, not to just talk to you about it because you know, but to make sure that we are sharing this message all across this nation and hoping to reach that 90%. We even streamed it live. How many of you watched us live? A few of you have? Okay. There's no fear if you're on my team.
But I was so lucky before I came on. I watched it live on the phone.
So we are streaming this to the world, marker after marker, all across the country, day after day. So if you haven't seen what we're doing, I'm going to share with you real quickly. We have a few other things that are more important than talking tonight. We have a team of, a crew, a support crew, and raise your hand, support crew, back there. We have a team of about 8. That have dedicated themselves to be on the 5-month journey, okay, to make sure that everything is done consistently, right? And we're not, you know, the choreography of what we have to do is respectful and reverent, the same every single time. So if you're at your marker or you're watching, you know that we are honoring your loved one the same way for everyone. So we have a main team, hopefully we have a team of runners, besides the crew who are in support vehicles. And that team is carrying 4 full-size flags. So they're not just running, okay, they're carrying 4 full-size flags. And today the winds got up to 45 miles an hour. We had to actually put them back in the vehicles and say, whoa, you gotta wait till this rain stops. Because it was brutal. Horrible storm came through. They're carrying 4 full-size flags. They're carrying the United States flag because hey, this is our country, right? These men and women died for their country. We're carrying the state flag because we want to honor the state that we're in. So we carry the Iowa flag. We're carrying a flag called the Honor and Sacrifice flag because 2 years ago, and I'll explain that later on with a ceremony we have, on the anniversary of 9/11, we established a flag for fallen police and fallen firefighters. And I can talk a little bit about that later. And the fourth flag is the Honor and Remember flag. Why? Because we are honoring and remembering every one of those fallen servicemen and women all across the nation. And that's important to us. And we want this flag to be recognized and identified so that you do see it as Gold Star families around this nation and hopefully feel appreciated. They're also carrying a placard with the names of those that died. What I didn't explain to you is that list of names, 20,000, we broke into individual dates of death. So that was the common bond. So we took those dates of death and we started with the USS Cole as our very first mile. And then every mile after that was in the next consecutive date of death. So we are moving across the country from oldest to newest. So you get a picture of that. So they're carrying the placard of the names of a particular date of death that we're running for. We happen to just cross into 2010, this today. So we moved from 2009 to 2010. There are also, on that placard, there could be one name. There has to be one name, right, to have a date of death. So there could be one name or there could be 50. The most we've had, I believe, is 57 at one marker. And you could probably guess what day that was. It happened to be 9/11. And so every date is a consecutive. I'm trying to paint this picture for you. So every name that's on this placard, we carry a set of flags. You see the little Honor and Remember flag and a U.S. flag. A set is carried for each one of those names. So some days we have a pretty thick bundle of flags that we're carrying. Once those runners reach the marker, they come to attention. They ask if there's any Gold Star families there, because often there are. We want to make sure we identify them. And then we begin to read the marker. This hero marker is dedicated to all those service members who lost their lives on this particular day. And then we begin to read those names and their branch of service. Because they all died on the same day, so we know when they died. And we read their names and their branch of service. And then, as we're doing that, we plant that set of flags in the ground. If the ground is soft enough, we can plant them in the ground. If it's not, then we touch the ground and we pick them back up. And we do that for every single name that we call out. And then once that's done, we get the next placard, the next date of death, and the next set of names, and we get a set of flags for each one of those names. And the runners move on to the next marker. And they do this day after day, mile after mile, mostly 10 hours a day. We're running about 6 miles an hour, and we run between 40 and 60 dates of death every single day. We get a day of rest once every 2 weeks over 5 months. So this is something that's very, very important to us, that no one is forgotten. And on this live feed, you can follow us, but sometimes it's really noisy. You can't really hear the names being spoken. And we're going to do something special tonight. So that's kind of my time, just to give you an understanding of what we're doing and how important this is for us. Once we do this, we're not doing this again. I mean, I don't know, I'm getting up there. The amount of energy it takes every day. Each one of those miles is a ceremony. So we have run, 3177, 3,177 miles so far. Okay. ceremony. I want you to think about that. Every one of those is a ceremony. It's not just stopping or saying or doing it. We methodically and reverently and respectfully stop and read those names because they're important to hear. Not for the family so much. Yes, for the family, but for America to realize that these are not statistics. These men and women have families. They have loved ones. They deserve to be remembered. And we deserve, as Americans, to send that message to these families and let them know that they will never be forgotten. And so tonight, I think we're going to go ahead and start by reading. We have a ceremony we're going to do every night. Although we read them every day, marker by marker, everybody doesn't get to hear them, right? Because it's very noisy on the road. Those of you who have been out there with us, we have this live feed going, but the microphone's not all that great, and it's not very quiet. Because we have cars whizzing by, and semi-trucks, and all kinds of other noise. And everybody doesn't get to hear, and even if you're watching, you might not catch who we're reading for. So one of the most important things for us is to know that we have read those names in an audience or even by ourselves, and we've done that many a night. We just read those names in our RV, huddled together as a team, or in a hotel parking lot, just depends. But when we're able to be in such a wonderful audience like this, it enables us to do two things. We get to say them out loud, and you get to hear them and stand in for the family who aren't here. Right? How important that is. Because you know, this hit me a month or so back as I was saying this one night. Some of these names, this may be the last time some of these names are ever spoken out loud. Because we don't know the family situation. And so as we're reading this name, and we ran today for 129 euros. That's a low day. That's a low day for us. Casualty is a blessing. We have read up to almost 400 names a week. And I'm not talking about a lot of time, because we don't run more than 60 miles in a day. We run between 40 and 60. And every one of those miles is a gate of death. So we ran for 129 heroes, but we only ran 50 gates of death. So you understand the connection. We don't often run more than about 50 gates of death. And so those numbers, I think this might be one of our lowest. So we're going to reread those names. It's going to take a few minutes, so I ask you to be patient. But I ask you to hear them as if they're your family's names, and that you are actually standing for those families who couldn't be here tonight and hear us honor them.
George.
Yeah, you might as well stand as close to everyone as you can.
Kristen.
Actually, if you stand
Minimize.
there.
Why don't you get one more, Kristen?
Oh, over here?
Talk about the Wilson.
Oh, we told them already.
We did.
Okay.
Private First Class Alvo Lorenzi Holland, United States Army. Specialist Diego Arturo Valbuena, United States Army. Specialist Wade Tyler James, United States Army. Sergeant Kenneth R. Nichols Jr., United States Army. Corporal Richard Wesley Andrew Mosley, United States Marine Corps. Corporal Ryan L. Pape, United States Marine Corps. Specialist Jamie Lee Blessingame, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Dennis Joe Hansen, United States Army. Sergeant Elijah John Miles Rayo, United States Army. Corporal Robert Edward Gray, United States Marine Corps. Petty Officer 3rd Class Andrew Ann, United States Navy. Private David Elijah Thomas, United States Army. Corporal Paul R. Sank, United States Army. Corporal Jonathan Clinton Rodriguez, United States Marine Corps. Tech Sergeant Kenyatta Demu Demings, United States Air Force. Private First Class Sherelle Lynn Jones, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Alex Arambulo Numjoka, United States Marine Corps. Corporal Jacob Latour, United States Marine Corps. Master Gunnery Sergeant Cecilia Annette Henderson, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Ralph Anthony Webb Freitas, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Walter Keith Rogers, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Valentino Rene Mendoza, United States Marine Corps. Private Johnner A. Tello, United States Army. Sergeant John Shepard Jr., United States Army. Petty Officer Second Class Brandon Angelo Villa, United States Navy. Private First Class Jose L. Pauley, United States Army. Senior Airman Michael Anthony Garcia, United States Air Force. Command Master Sergeant Thomas Gerald Downs Jr., United States Air Force. Sergeant Jason Dwayne Segal, United States Army. Specialist Christopher Linnell Westbrook, United States Army. Private First Class Kiani Lum Esteban, United States Army. Lieutenant Colonel Mark Charles Jennings, United States Air Force. Staff Sergeant Michael Flynn O'Connor, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Stephen Elliott Cottrell, United States Air Force. Corporal Nicholas Anthony Adams, United States Army. Specialist Eric Amons Peterson, United States Army. Sergeant Albert D. Ware, United States Army. Tech Sergeant Rick Earl Matthew Palmar, United States Air Force. Specialist Jacob Bij Engel, United States Army. Master Sergeant Jean Paul LeBrock, United States Army. Corporal Zachary Sean Dominguez, United States Marine Corps. Private First Class Sergei Kropov, United States Army. Sergeant Joseph L. Delashma, United States Army National Guard. Chief Petty Officer Thomas Gary Lindemood, United States Navy. Specialist Clifford Jamar Williams, United States Army. Sergeant First Class James William Trusty Jr., United States Army.
Lance Corporal Omar G. Ruba, United States Marine Corps. Private First Class William L. Boyer, United States Army. Seaman Tai Quoc Lee, United States Navy. Private John Sorodoris Lagos, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant David G. Gutierrez, United States Army. Private First Class Jason Michael Hartster, United States Army. Second Lieutenant Jordan Douglas Bunker, United States Army. Private First Class Travis Michael Humbred, United States Army. Sergeant Alfred Frank Greenwood, Jr., United States Army. Sergeant Major James R. Robert Paya, Jr., United States Army. Specialist Jason M. Johnston, United States Army. Tech Sergeant Eric Matthew Wedding, United States Air Force. Petty Officer, Second Class Michael Joseph Salas, United States Navy. Fireman David Allen Kennedy, United States Navy. Petty Officer Joshua Deho Carell, United States Navy. J. Spino, United States Army. Private First Class Jonathan Glenn Bell, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Anton R. Phillips, United States Army. Petty Officer Second Class Leon Andros Nuez, United States Navy. Specialist Andrew Stephen Faulkner, United States Army. Specialist Bronson X. Anderson, United States Army. Private First Class Gabriel Tyler Patton, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Harry Nupti Delphin, United States Army. Master Sergeant Quintina Michelle Donald, United States Army. Lance Corporal Charles Forrest Wright, United States Marine Corps. Senior Airman Bradley R. Smith, United States Air Force. Specialist Brian R. Bowman, United States Army. Private John P. Dion, United States Army. Sergeant Joshua A. Langsford, United States Army. Seaman Andre C. Reed, United States Navy. Specialist Hashman Husseini, United States Army. Sergeant David Andrew Croft Jr., United States Army. Specialist Tipali Tony Bashmiasi, United States Army. Chief Warrant Officer 2, Edward R. Rader, United States Army. Private First Class Jeremy Roberts Thomas, United States Marine Corps. Chief Petty Officer David Arlo Thompson, United States Navy. Private First Class Michael R. Jarrett, United States Army.
Sergeant First Class Everett Alonzo McClellan, United States Army. Sergeant First Class Jason O. B. Hickman, United States Army. Sergeant Ryan J. Hopkins, United States Army. Private Thomas Edward Hodge II, United States Army. Lance Corporal Mark D. Juarez, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Zachary Y. Jasper, United States Marine Corps. Private First Class Reed Taylor Little, United States Army. Captain Samson Travis Luke, United States Army. Lance Corporal Jacob A. Minor, United States Marine Corps. First Lieutenant Garland John Brooke English, United States Army. Corporal Jamie R. Lowe, United States Marine Corps. Staff Sergeant Matthew N. Ingham, United States Marine Corps. Corporal Nicholas K. Uzinski, United States Marine Corps. Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth D. Borland, United States Air Force. Hospitalman Brent Allen Dunkley, United States Navy. Specialist Kyle J. Wright, United States Army. Captain Lawrence Joseph Greger, United States Army.
Sergeant Lucas T. Beechnow, United States Army.
Private First Class Jeffrey A. Whitsitt, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Daniel D. Merriweather, United States Army. Specialist Frank Jackson Schreiber, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Cody Richard Anderson, United States Army. Lance Corporal Nathaniel Michael Jones, United States Marine Corps. Corporal Austin Michael Barnes, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Christopher Richard Hebrick, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant First Class Brenda Lee Rodriguez, United States Army. Lieutenant John Joseph Flamingo, United States Navy. Specialist Robert Donevsky, United States Army. Captain Tatiana Lavia Brewer, United States Army. Staff Sergeant David Frederick Horney IV, United States Air Force. Sergeant First Class Michael P. Shannon, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Brian Dennis Spinks, United States Air Force. Senior Airman Sean Patrick McGinnis, United States Air Force. Chief Petty Officer Jeremy Allen Sluss, United States Navy. Captain Paul Pena, United States Army. Tech Sergeant Joachim Eric Olafson, United States Air Force. Tech Sergeant Adam K. Gannett, United States Air Force. Tech Sergeant Angela Christine Eggman, United States Air Force. Private First Class Gifford Ethan Hurt, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Thaddeus S. Montgomery, United States Army. Colonel Adrian Christopher Pone, United States Air Force. Senior Airman Chad Rocker Rice, United States Air Force. Private First Class Adam Frank Kedrowski, United States Army.
One hundred and 129 names, over 50 dates of death. We can just have a moment of silence and just bow our heads to reflect on those names that we ran for and their families today and those that are yet to come. Amen. We're going to move into a different part of the ceremony where we're able to honor some individual families with a special honor and remember flag. Deb, if you do have people that wanted to help, okay. If the people want to help, just come stand over here and I'll tell you what to do. I kind of have to do it from down here. We'll have to hold the flag up so you can see back there. I'll try to be loud. Is that better? Yes. Can you hear me? Okay. I talked about the honor and remember flag and the importance of having it flying around the nation. We've had 3 bills in Congress already where nothing has happened. And we started a state-by-state effort to have the flag recognized and adopted in the state, so the state would fly it for its fallen heroes, right? Because every one of these men and women came from one of our states. 24 states have adopted the honor and remember flag so far. Iowa's not one of them, just so you know. Illinois is not one of them either. So we need to work on that. But it's more than just having the flag flying on a flagpole to me. As an organization, it's remembering each individual name and the families that they represent. And so tonight we are going to honor a few families. Bear with us, please. I'll explain. People want to know, well, how come these families and not, other families? There is no magic rule to flag presentations. Any family who requests a flag can be presented a flag. The only limitation for us is resources. We have over 1,000 families on a waiting list. And right now, we're probably presenting families that have been waiting for a couple of years. So that's the process, basically, so just so you know. But what I'm holding is a folded, hand-sewn honor and remember flag. It's folded this way because it mirrors the American flag that was tri-folded at the funeral, at the memorial of a loved one, and handed to the family, meant to be encased reverently and respectfully forever as a reminder of a gift from a grateful nation. The honor and remember flag mirrors the fold of that American flag only one time. And once it's open, it's meant to be a celebration of their life and a thank you and appreciation for that sacrifice. And so I would like for the Miller family to come forward, please. All right. Well, whoever can, come up. The rest of you can stay if you'd like. I see you're a little challenge here. Someone helping you with this?
Come on, Jess, get up here.
No? All right. Chris over here.
Shut up, James.
You guys can just walk. This honor and remember flag is presented with eternal gratitude and respect in memory of Sergeant John W. Miller. With this flag, we honor this patriot's unwavering dedication and remember his selfless sacrifice. By displaying this symbol collectively as a nation, We humbly recognize the enormity of your loss and respectfully say thank you. We hold it up high.
It's one of the sisters. Sisters.
Put your arm around
They got up there, James.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it. Yes. Go ahead, you hold this way, don't let it fall over. Go ahead, say something.
I got a real deep voice. Can you hear that? That's the Marine. But now we're all getting it. This is an honor for us, for me to be standing up here for Dustin Whitaker. What a man. You remind me of, how many watch WWF? The champion. I was telling her earlier, he looks like Brock Lesnar. Who do you remind me of? And he always had my back, no matter where I went. I went to Daytona Bike Week with him. We rode together, side by side. My son served with him in Iraq in 2005, taking roadside bombs out for the Marine Corps. So it's a great honor for me to be standing up here. And his mother and his friends and family and sister. This lady and this man does more than you can ever imagine in your wildest dreams to raise money for veterans. And it's an honor for me to stand up here for my man Brock, I call him. He always said, hey Booth, I got your back. So today, he's an angel. They're all angels. They fought for our country, but they're your angels. And listen to them. Thank you.
This honor and remember flag is presented in eternal gratitude and respect in memory of Staff Sergeant Dustin A. Whitaker. With this flag, we honor this patriot's unwavering dedication and remember his selfless sacrifice. By displaying this symbol collectively as a nation, we humbly recognize the enormity of your loss and respectfully say thank you. With the family of Nathan Earls, please come forward.
Trying to get the camera ready there, private. She's crying all the time. And what an honor again to be up here. My son also served with Nathan, taking roadside bombs out for the United States Marine Corps. What a man. Always kept morale up, always happy, always just a sweetheart. Bring his guitar out and sing. One of the things I always to sing to Nathan was, I call him the Duke of Earls. Duke of Earls. Remember that song? And I sang it to him every time I seen him. But one day he reached out with his elephant or whatever they call it, take roadside bombs out, and it blew the front of it off. And all Nathan did was just laugh. Bring it on. We can take it. Bring it on. But also it's an honor for me to be standing up here representing Nathan. I can feel him right now in my heart. And Franny is just super. But again, to stand up here and honor Nathan as a father and a friend, I can't express the words. another angel in our line today. So again, Nathan, I love you, man. And you too, Dustin. So thank you.
This honor and remember flag is presented with eternal gratitude and respect in memory of Sergeant Nathan A. Earls. With this flag, we honor this patriot's unwavering dedication and remember his selfless sacrifice. By displaying this symbol collectively as a nation, we humbly recognize the enormity of your loss and respectfully say thank you. So sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would the family of Joshua Palmer please come forward? You can help. Wait. Oh, you don't have to say anything. Here, you want to hold it? When I tell you, just grab this red card and let it go. This is good. Okay. Just stand right here. I'm going to face that. Go ahead now. This honor and remember flag is presented with eternal gratitude and respect in memory of Corporal Joshua D. Palmer. With this flag, we honor this patriot's unwavering dedication and remember his selfless sacrifice. By displaying this symbol collectively as a nation, we humbly recognize the enormity of your loss and respectfully say, would the family of Sergeant Levon Ritter please come forward? This honor and remember flag is presented with eternal gratitude and respect in memory of Sergeant Levon J. Ritter. With this flag, we honor this patriot's unwavering dedication and remember his selfless sacrifice. By displaying this symbol collectively as a nation, we humbly recognize the enormity of your loss and respectfully say thank you. Deb, we have the firefighters here, two of you. more flags that are special that I'd like to present. But before I do, I have to find something on my phone. So just talk quietly, and I'll interrupt you in a second. Thank you. Okay, I'm ready. So I mentioned earlier that one of the 4 flags that we were carrying was the Honor and Sacrifice flag. So over the years, 10 years now, with the creation of the Honor and Remember flag, and you see the personalization of that flag, correct? I've had a large number of individuals come to us and say, we would like to present that flag, the Honor and Remember flag, to our fallen police officers and our fallen firefighters. And I've had to say over the years that it just wasn't appropriate. The symbolism for those Gold Star families who are here, you realize is most military symbolism. The Gold Star, the Blue Star, I didn't go over the dynamics of the symbolism, but you all get it. And so 2 years ago, in the summer, there were some really heavy casualties that came to the police department in Dallas, Texas, and in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They were actually targeted and murdered. Several were killed. And so again, I was called upon to, can we please present the Honor and Remember flag to the families of these officers? And again, I had to say no. But I started to think about our public servants and what they do for all of us, right? We have those that protect our freedoms. We have those that preserve our way of life. And so on the 15th anniversary of 9/11, we as an organization unveiled a second flag called the Honor and Sacrifice flag that was designed specifically to be presented to the families of those public servants who put their lives on the line and sometimes lose it. So again, this flag, I haven't opened it yet. You haven't seen it, but this represents all those who died in the public service community while serving or as a result of serving, the same umbrella as the Honor and Remember flag. And I would like to have the family of Nathan Tuck, whoever's representing Nathan Tuck, to come forward. This honor and sacrifice flag is presented with eternal gratitude and respect in memory of firefighter Nathan R. Tuck. With this flag, we honor this public servant's unwavering dedication and remember his selfless sacrifice. By displaying this symbol throughout our communities, we humbly recognize the enormity of your loss and respectfully say thank you. I believe these will be the first 2 flags that I know of ever presented in Iowa. I would like the family of Jason Fitting to come forward. This honor and sacrifice flag is presented with eternal gratitude and respect in memory of firefighter Jason L. Bidding. With this flag, we honor this public servant's unwavering dedication and remember his selfless sacrifice. By displaying this symbol throughout our communities, we humbly recognize the enormity of your loss and respectfully say thank you. That concludes this part of our ceremony. I know everybody's hungry and they're going, what the heck? And I apologize for the lateness of that. The things that we do, I tell you, are historic. This moment is not going to happen again. And I, myself and my team, want to absorb every possible minute that we can of it and share it with you. To close our portion, and I guess we'll go into the eating, unless, did I miss anything, Deb? I know, is there anything else?
One more song.
No, I know. But from your standpoint, so one of our team members, Winona Larson, would like to end with a prayer song, if she would. And so, Winona, I pass it to you.
Thank you. Yes, as for the runners that helped to run today, if they can come and stand with us up here, if you're not already up here. So I'm from the Bahamut Foundation from Southern Arizona, and this song that I'm going to share is a runner song, and it's also for the awesome blessing that we had that storm, that rain. Where I come from is from the desert, so we never have rain, and it was such a blessing for all of us, even though it was a little bit scary. But so this is if you are in That's the short version.
And they can get online, www.runsforthefallen.org, and please request more flags for more fallen. But we'd like other Gold Star family members to come up and please tell a little bit about your son or daughter, and please let us know their names. been other Gold Star moms and dads that have been on the route.
My name is Teresa Palmer. This is my daughter Madison. We're from Decatur, Illinois. We came and we're with the group all day today. Our son was IC2 Logan Stephen Palmer. He was on the USS John McCain last August 21st, and he was killed with 9 other fellow sailors on the 17th, which will be this Sunday. We have become very close with the Fitzgerald families. They will be celebrating their first Father's Day in the memory of their sons this Sunday. So keep them in your prayers.
I am Ashley Johnson, and these are my boys and my niece Sierra. I lost my brother on October 11th, 2011. He was a staff sergeant in the Army. His name was Sean Howardson, and he unfortunately took his own life after a tour in Afghanistan.
My name is Elisa Mueller. This is my dad, Dave Thompson. This is Nancy Ducote. Her son, my brother, his son, they were killed on January 29th, 2010. And you'll be hitting their mile marker tomorrow. So she has traveled from New Hampshire, and we have come from Kansas so that we can be there. This is the first time we've seen each other since they came back at Dover. So just really appreciate what you're doing. I started running after my brother was killed. I'm slower, like back turtle. I so wanted to run with you until I read 9-minute miles, and I went, no, I'm 17-minute miles. But what you're doing, I ran through my grief. I talked to my brother. I yelled at my brother. I cried at my brother, and had gone all the way up to a marathon because of him. And the last thing he had said to me before he left on his 3rd trip to Afghanistan was, you need to start running, sis. And I was like, what do you know? You're my brother. And then he went and got himself killed. So I started running. And the last big race I did was my marathon. And when I finished it, my friends had a banner at the end that said, because they had all said, what would your brother say? And I said, he'd say, great job, sis. Now what? And that was the banner they had for me at the end. And so this running thing you're doing is, and remembering and never forgetting, is very powerful to me. And that's what I've done to my group too. So thank you for remembering.
My son was specialist Martin Kogo. When the interpreter on the FOB killed these 2 men, her brother and my son, he got the commander of the FOB and the youngest kid on the FOB. Mark was 19. He had graduated high school, did his AIT, first deployment, less than 30 days in Afghanistan. He was murdered by the churchgoers. Just goes to show on this Monday, January 29, 2010, it's everybody. All kinds of families. It's the brother, it's the father, it's the son, and it touches everybody. We were presented a flag shortly after Mark's death in New Hampshire. A lot of time came up to New Hampshire and helped with that. Our community asks us if they can have it for Memorial Day. They ask us if they can take it out, the Boy Scouts take it out to the top of the mountain on Memorial Day. People fight over our flag, and it's a great, we're so thankful that we have that flag, because when it flies, we're proud. We're proud to be part of that Gold Star family, we're proud of the sacrifice, and we're thankful that there's a community behind us, and now a nation behind us in Gold Star. So thank you. Thank you, runners.
scared. He was killed in Najaf, Iraq in 2004. Again, thank you all for being here and for all you guys, what you do. After 14 years, it's still hard. And I just thank you all.
That's it from that side.
You guys, okay.
This is our son, Sergeant Joe Lashman. He died December 20th, 2009. While he was in Iraq, he got really sick, and no one really seemed to know what was wrong with him until one day he couldn't see. So they sent him to Walter Reed, where we met him, and we found out he had leukemia. So after all the treatments of 3.5 years, when the day came, we had to watch him die. But we received our flag on his birthday 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, on November 5th. God bless you.
That's all I need.
We have dinner for anybody that would like to go through. We have food that we provided. So please
We have-
go over and help yourself.
Deb, we have another Gold Star family that would like to talk.
One more.
One more, guys, one more.
One more.
I lost my son, well, I lost my brother in Vietnam. His name is Larry Martoni. He was a sergeant and he went to Vietnam. I lost my father at 92. He was World War II, Army Air Force, and also me and my wife lost our son in 2006. Justin Robert Martoni, Marine, Gunny Sergeant, EOD, in Iraq, trying to save the people of Iraq for their freedom. He died on a mission. 13 years in the service, he died on a mission. Coming back, this Hummer hit an IED. It killed him instantly. But he loved what he was doing. And he would do it again if he had to. Thank you very much.
Was there any other families that were missed? I know there's some shy families.
Jody has something to say.
19 months ago, I lost my baby brother, Rocky Littlewind, up in North Dakota. It's ironic because we have an East Grand Forks, Minnesota Gold Star family with us today. And I lost my brother to PTS. He served 2 tours in Afghanistan. I went through years of counseling with him. I'm a veterans advocate. I've been working for years with this. I just recently joined the organization.
as the Iowa representative. It's been an amazing trip. I've been here for the whole state. What I've learned, what I've taken away from it, what I'm going to get to do for the state is going to be amazing. I've had a lot of volunteers, a lot of people willing to join together and work together. This has been very healing for me. It's amazing. The families, the Gold Star families, it's hard every day to hear the stories, but it's healing at the same time. And I'm so grateful that all of you guys came out and you guys are all here. Our runners have been amazing all week. We had such a large group yesterday, especially, so with the cross-country team, a team I didn't even expect coming out, and we were able to give the core team a rest, which we kind of pushed them the day before a little bit more than we should have, but they still trooped through it. Yeah, it's just, the families are astronomical. They're amazing to be able to give them the flags and see, that they're starting to come more at peace with, what's going on. I received my flag a few days ago for my brother, and this is just so reflecting, so peaceful. And what George has done, what Laura's done, all the core team, and to be able to join this team, it's a whole new thing. My mom and dad asked me if it was worth it, because I had to take some time off, and my mom said, "Is this worth it?" And I said, "Absolutely." I said, "I'd do it again in a heartbeat. I wish I could stay till Arlington." My brother's marker is in North Carolina, so I'm hoping to go there also. But it's the best thing in the world. I mean, what he has done is it's helped so many Gold Star families, and so thank you so much for coming out.
Couple of housekeeping things. If you were presented a flag tonight, there's a box for you. You can get that on your way out and put your flag in. And please just enjoy each other. Listen, if you didn't know the families that came up here, or just then, or earlier, please hear their stories, meet them, learn about their loved ones. That's very important. And people ask us about shirts and things, so no obligation, but we have a table up here with stuff. Helps us to get through to one city to the next. So if you could pick something up, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm done, and Deb says there's some food over there. So, God bless you guys.